Hi, my name is Lauren. This is Histology Lab 2. This is for Bio 230. Today's date is going to be November 11th, 2020. As stated here, there are four major types of tissue in the body: epithelia, connective, muscle, and nervous tissue. The first tissue we're going to talk about is epithelia. So here are the different types of epithelia. You have simple squamose, stratified squamose, stratified cubital, simple cubital, simple columnar. You have pseudocolumnar, and then you also have transitional. This tissue is the tissue that actually lines, covers, and organizes our body. An example of this is going to be our lungs, and the purpose is to exchange gases, and that's going to be a simple squamose. A stratified squamose, an example of a living cells would be our esophagus. Example of a dead cell stratified squamose is going to be our skin. And then a transitional example would be our bladder. And what it does is it lines the outside of our bladder in order for it to expand without tearing. The next tissue we're going to talk about is muscle tissue. So it's responsible for three things. That's going to be producing heat, movement, as well as our posture. It's known for contracting and relaxing muscles. There's three different types of muscle tissue, which is cardiac, smooth, and skeletal. For skeletal muscles, they're attached to our bones called tendons. For cardiac muscles, that's going to be found in the heart, and it helps the heart pump all day long. And for smooth muscles, that's going to be found in our veins, arteries, and as well as our digestive tract. That is going to do things like help maintain blood pressure. So here is a picture of this. So you have skeletal, smooth muscle, and cardiac muscle. However, I like this picture better because it also gave an example of where they're located. So right here you have your smooth muscle, as you can see. This is obviously our cardiac muscle, and this is going to be our skeletal muscle. Our third tissue we're going to talk about is the nervous tissue. The locations are going to be the brain, the nervous system, and our nerves. The function of this is to conduct nerve impulses. Right here we have a model. So right here, as you guys can see, this is going to be the cell body. Here's the nucleus. These are called dendrites, these guys right here. This is the axon. If there was a cell on this model, it would be called the Schwann cell. So yeah, there you go. Okay, the next tissue we're going to talk about is connective tissues. This is what makes up our skeletons. It's what holds us all together. It delivers oxygen and nutrients throughout our body. There are 6 different types. The way I remembered is by saying A, B, B, F, E. So agular, adipose, blood, bone, fibrous, and elastic. 3 common locations of this. For the types, for blood, it's going to be blood cells such as white and red. Fibrous is going to be tendons and ligaments, and then elastic is a good example of walls of the heart, and it also maintains blood pressure. So here is a model of some of the connective tissue. Some of these are subtypes, so we'll just go over the ones we talked about, which are going to be bone and blood here, bone and blood. And then on this one, these are cartilages, but right here is going to be fibrous. And then we have elastic here. I don't know if you guys can see. And then up here we have adipose. So these are your connective tissues. So from a clinical standpoint, it's so important to know these structures and functions of these tissues simply because they're throughout our whole body. And depending on which tissue and function we're talking about, the consequences of something going wrong can be minimal or life-threatening. If you pull a tendon, then that's going to prevent you from walking like you normally do. Or if your cardiac muscles aren't working like they should, then that's obviously can lead to something that's life-threatening.